Welcome to the bonus episode of the Writer Support Group podcast. This is the stuff that didn't make the cut. We're your hosts, Eliza Phillips and Roxy Muldoon. Welcome. So, Eliza, we have just listened to the first real episode of our podcast, and we left out all of our introductions because that might be boring. But here, for the people who wanted to listen to this bonus episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about ourselves. So you're going first. How do you feel about that? I'm pumped.
Good. So, let's ask the typical internet questions for you. We'll start with a really easy one.
Yes.
Age, sex, location.
So, I'm 23, female, and Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I really hope that you're going to say yes, please, to the sex question.
Oh.
Because that's kind of what
that
we're
would
all
have been
about.
really fun.
That wouldn't have been. That was very 90s.
Yeah.
So,
well, on to the next one.
On to the next one. What is your favorite book?
My favorite book, I think about this a lot because it really stresses me out because I don't want my other books to not feel like they're my favorite.
No, that you read by someone else.
No, that's what I mean.
No,
I'm not that, my poor babies. No, the books on my bookshelf that are by other people are still precious to me.
I 100% thought you were going to be like, well, it's really hard, even though I've only written 4.
No. I was going to say.
Please continue.
Okay. Just to throw it out there, my favorite book is probably Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Or actually, I really liked Fangirl, and so that's up there on the list right now.
Oh,
so,
thanks for getting you into that.
Yeah,
So
you're welcome. What? No, thank you is what I'm trying to say. Roxy was the one who got me to read Fangirl.
And I think that everyone should read Fangirl, so if you're looking for something to pick up, look it up.
All right. Next question. What got you into writing? Well, I was always writing as a kid, and it's probably just, something that, all little kids like to tell stories, and then I just, started to write more and, weird little short stories, and then as I got older, they turned into longer stories, and then when I got even older, they turned into fanfics, and then you just brought it on home to novellas, and it's just been a lifetime love, as they say.
And would you say that one of the reasons you like Fangirl so much is because you have a background in fandom?
Yes, is that I read it and was like, this girl is me in college, and it felt very authentic to all of my experiences, and so that's been one of the reasons why it's a top fave.
And with fandom and writing in general, do you think that's what's directed you to romance, or what makes you want to write romance?
So, I used to read a lot of romances growing up. Is that my mom had her collection of romance books positioned just outside of my bedroom door, which was not her intention. I just happened to live in the basement, and that happened to be where she was closeting away her romance books.
So they kept their dirty secrets in the basement, their child and
yes.
the romance
books.
Yep,
both. And so I just started reading them because I was like, what is the billionaire's secret mistress? And it was simultaneously, an education in both romance and a different style of writing and, also about sex. And which was very, formative in my, young...
That was the good part.
Yeah. that taught me a lot. And so I, always read those. And so that kind of bled over into, my own writing. And then, a lot of fanfic is about romances between different characters. And so it was, it grew from there. But it all started in a basement.
Very nice. You could probably write a book about that.
Someday.
The basement romance.
Wow.
It would probably be BDSM.
Probably.
Not gonna lie.
That can't really be just like a regular romance.
If your books came with a warning label, like your specific type of writing, what would the warning label say?
Warning: characters may sometimes say something really oddly snappy.
Have you ever read a warning label?
No, I haven't. I'm just like, skip.
Pass.
Pass. I don't need to know. I feel like warning labels give away, like, the cliffhanger.
No. That was a good writing pass, but I could see through your inability.
I get really panicked when I can't write my own warning labels because I'm like, what if, because sometimes I'm like, my surprise is that maybe there is a little of something, a little raunchier, and like that's, my surprise, the surprise inside. And so I don't want to prep someone to be like, oh, by the way, something really surprising is going to happen. Just keep an eye out. So
maybe your warning label would say, warning, no surprises here. Because then, when it is a surprise, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they'll be like, whoa!
You didn't say that.
I wasn't expecting that. Your warning label was wrong.
Oh, twist.
Darn.
And if you could have any other job that wasn't writing, so if this is your top favorite thing to do, what would you have instead?
If I could do anything?
If you could do anything, no education required, no experience, if you woke up tomorrow and they were like, you can't be a writer, but you can be anything else you want to be, what would you do?
I'm assuming I'm being taken care of financially, correct? Because I'm about to say painter and tradition.
You
and
can't
not
put a price on your dreams.
Well, and I don't mean wall painter, people who
make a lot of money. So
and that's what I'm saying.
You could be taken care of financially if you wanted to be a wall painter.
But unfortunately, I want the kind of art that makes zero money. It just makes a lot of heart money. Cashing in that soul cash. So, made that up on the spot.
So it shows.
Nuh-uh. Everything off the cuff is gold.
So Eliza would be a painter if she wasn't a writer.
Yes.
That's very whimsical. That's very, romantic in the traditional way.
Yes.
Which is much like your writing.
It is.
Romantic in the traditional way.
I'd like to think so.
As you're probably your biggest fan who has read all of your works thus far, it is romantic in the traditional way.
Good.
I think that I would be the one to be your best reviewer, so...
Yeah.
If you're looking for sexy sex, but also, lots of good hand-touching, Eliza is the way to go. And to wrap this up, one final question. If you could give one piece of advice to any writer, what would it be?
Never give up on your dreams.
If you could give one piece of advice that was really workable, what would you do?
Actual valuable?
Valuable advice that doesn't sound like it came out of a fortune cookie. What would it be?
Well, it's probably still cheesy. It'd be you're probably better than you think you are, but make sure you edit more than Eliza does. I feel just when you've gone over it with a fine-tooth comb and you're like, this is gold, just maybe go over it again with a finer tooth comb, and then also maybe give that to someone else who is using a comb that has all of the teeth in it, so that it's just real fine sand, and just
run it through and
sift
it even.
Yeah, sift it. Make sure there wasn't a glaring rock that you just were combing around, because as much as Zen gardens are fun to and there's the hidden rock in there, it's very startling when you as a writer are then reading your own thing that's already out in the world, and you're like, well, that is a huge, sharp boulder just sitting there in the middle of all this fine sand. Mm. So, that would be...
Edit would be...
Edit, it's my advice.
Maybe I should also take that.
I mean, I think that is something that writers, maybe not all of them, because there are people who actually, unlike myself, really enjoy the editing process. But I just get so done looking for those rocks. So.
And I'm sure when we eventually do an editing episode, people will understand both of our dislike and our different approaches to editing. And if you have any editing services you want to direct us to that maybe is a little bit more reliable than somebody with a PayPal account in a basement with a couple years of an English degree under their belt, We don't want that. I have an English degree under my belt. I need, like, professional help.
I need someone who is going to tell me like it is, but also softly and gently to be like, hey, you wrote, what is it? Nippling instead of nibbling,
yes.
Which I still routinely do. And every time I do it, it makes me laugh. But then cry a little bit because I'm like, where are the other boulders that you haven't noticed?
Well, it was nice to meet you, Eliza, I'm sure, or what our listeners are saying. I've known you for years, so I knew all the answers to these.
I hope they thought, wow, that sounds like someone I want to get to know better, and not someone who's like, well, they should have stopped talking 3 minutes ago.
Oh, don't worry, we'll have edited out all the parts that make them want to stop listening.
Perfect.
So, Eliza, do you want to sign off today?
Sure, I'll sign us off.
All right, let's go.
All right, everyone, remember, write words, not excuses. This bonus episode of the Writers of Park Group podcast was written, produced, and edited by Eliza Phillips and Roxy Muldoon. Music is Live the Moment from Audio Blocks. Special thanks to the Hennepin County Libraries for giving us a place to work and write. We hope you'll subscribe and leave us a kind review on iTunes. Every little bit helps. Now get back to writing.